Hi everyone, welcome to today's leadership segment. My name is Inonge, a speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. I am so happy and looking forward to our leadership segment. I am so excited that you would actually take time off your busy schedule just to be with me and have an enlightening moment during our leadership segment. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and share. Create a watch party on Facebook and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. Please, guys, like and share. Drop a comment. Let me know where you are watching from. Before we begin today's leadership segment, I would just love to encourage everyone that's actually tuned in to be part and parcel of the leadership training that I will be facilitating next month, which happens to be the first month of January in the year 2021. This leadership training is about putting your dream to the test. You see, a lot of people live lives with a dream that is borrowed, with a dream that is not theirs, with a dream that is birthed out of circumstances and not what actually is their God-given ordained dream. So we'll be actually putting our dreams to test during the leadership training. This is a training that is actually designed and given to us by JOHN.C.MAXWELL to help us, to really discover what our purpose is, to help us to really bring out the potential that lies within us. So this training is actually going to start on the 5th of January, and it's going to run through to February the 4th. So this training will actually be doing it virtually on Zoom, and we'll be spending an hour. So in a week, we are actually going to have like 2 sessions, one on Tuesday night and another on Thursday night. So this training is going for 150. For more information about the training, please, there's a page there's on our page on Moments with Inonge, that's on Facebook, because I know there are some people that are actually watching on YouTube. So please go to our Facebook page and you'll be able to see a WhatsApp button. So when you click that WhatsApp button, you can actually just reach out and someone from our team is going to respond and give you more information about the leadership training. So this is a training that is going to help you to actually discover what your God-given dream is. Because sometimes we have dreams, but those dreams are not God-given. Sometimes we have dreams, but those dreams are birthed out of influence of others, out of the circumstances that actually surround us. So that leadership training is actually called Put Your Dream to Test, and I'll be facilitating it, and JOHN.C.MAXWELL is the designer of that mastermind training, that leadership training. So for the viewers that are currently watching on Facebook, please like and share by creating a watch party, and those that are watching via YouTube, please remember to like and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. The topic for today is real success. The topic that we're going to be discussing is real success. Guys, please drop your comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and also as we discuss real success, which is actually our topic for discussion, please feel free to contribute. Feel free to drop your questions. Feel free to comment. Drop your questions, contributions, and your comments. Our theme for this month of December is I have a purpose for existence, and our anchor scripture is Jeremiah 1 and verse 5. Each and every one of us has a purpose for existence. So it's very, very important that we actually locate our purpose for existence and begin to live, a life, that is actually purpose driven. So once again, guys, I want to welcome you all to tonight's leadership segment if you're in Zambia, to this afternoon's leadership segment if you're in America. to this evening's leadership segment if you are in this morning's leadership segment if you're in Asia, because I know we have a lot of people watching from around the world. So I just want to welcome everybody. Like I said, my name is Inonge, a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. And our topic for discussion is real success. Real success. Well, what brings me to this topic? What brings me to this topic is the mere fact that I have observed that when you ask me what success is, I have my own personal definition of what success is. And when I listen to another person's definition of what success is, merely they'll give me their own definition of what success is. So what I gathered is that success is actually subjective. It's actually subjective, and every person has got their own definition of success, because we are all unique. But in as much as we all have our own personal definitions of success, I want us to briefly share what real success is according to John C. Maxwell. Somebody may be asking to say, Inonge, who is John C. Maxwell? Well, John C. Maxwell is a pastor, a speaker, and an author of over 77 books in leadership. He's been in the leadership field for over 40 years. So we are actually getting stuff that is from somebody that is a guru in the leadership world. John C. Maxwell, a renowned guru in the leadership world. So basically, we're going to look at real success from his point of view, and actually we'll pick what we can pick and leave out what we feel we should leave out, but I just thought I should bring this to our attention this evening. Remember, guys, to send your comments, questions, and contributions. Also, let me know where you're watching from. So, success is when you know your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. This is John C. Maxwell's definition of what success is. And because of his definition, and because our leadership segments are based on his teachings, we are really going to try and break down, this definition in tonight's leadership segment. If you're watching from Zambia, this afternoon's leadership segment, if you're watching from America, and wherever you are watching from. So our main teaching in the leadership segment tonight, today, this morning, is actually based, or it's coming from this definition. Success is when you know your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing the seeds that benefit others. So from this definition, I would really love us to, break it down. I would really love us to break it down into three parts. One thing that I know for sure, and I have come to really appreciate, is that there are two important great days in one's life. The first is the day you were born, and the second is the day you discover your purpose. Because everybody in life has got a purpose for existence. And purpose can actually be found by answering two questions. And for those that didn't watch last week's leadership segment, I would really highly recommend that you watch it, because I talked a lot more about what purpose is and how you find your purpose. But just to do a quick recap, we'll just go by talking about the two questions that one can ask when they are pursuing, the discovery of their purpose. So one of the questions is, what am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? This is 70% accurate when it comes to your purpose, because why I say so is, passionate. When you're passionate about something, you can be passionate about something that you're actually not good at. And when you're passionate about something that you're not good at, that really doesn't really point to your purpose for existence, you know. So you can be passionate about something and really good at it, but you can also be passionate about something and not be good at it. And my advice is, if you're passionate about something that you're not really good at, I really encourage that you don't take it up as a career, because it will not bring you the monies. It will not cause you to impact as many lives as possible. But instead, you can adopt it as a hobby because you love it, you're passionate about it. So you can take it up as a hobby, but not a career. And then the other question is that what are my gifts? What are my gifts? This part of the two questions, when finding out what your purpose is, I rate it to be actually 100% accurate, because the God that created us is a God of purpose. And because He is a purpose, and because He's our vision provider, He has given us the provision in order to fulfill our vision. So what is this provision? This provision is our gifts. What are we good at? What is our strength zone? What are we good at? What are our strength zones? So asking those two questions, what am I passionate about? What are my gifts? What are my spiritual gifts? What are the gifts that God has created me with? What is it that I do so easily and yet so well? Those are pointers to actually to our purpose in life. You know, in school, we are taught to work on our weaknesses, but when it comes to purpose, fulfillment, improvement on your strengths is a major key. You know, in school, every time that I remember our parents would actually come and pick up our report book, you know, the teacher would always write on subjects that we're not doing so well, to say you can do better, you should put more effort in this, you should improve in this. Well, we're no longer in school, and now we're in society, and society is where we really get to pour out, you know, our purpose for existence. And this is where it works the opposite side. It works the opposite way. In school, we are taught and encouraged to work on our weaknesses, but when it comes to purpose fulfillment, we are encouraged to really go in depth with our strengths. Why? Because when you work on your weakness, what will happen is you become average. You know, you grow from it being a weakness, and it becomes average. But when you are working on something that is your strength, already you are above average. What happens is that the more you focus on that strength of yours, you become excellent, you become an expert in it. So whatever it is that is your strength zone, that is what you actually need to focus on. So going to the next phase of our definition for success, because the first phase is finding our purpose, it's knowing our purpose. You know, the next phase about that is actually growing in your purpose in your personal life. It is actually about maximizing your potential. So we're going to talk a little about growing in your purpose in your personal life, maximizing your potential. You see, one thing that I have come to appreciate, and I hope you appreciate, is that growth has to be intentional. It's not automatic. It has to be intentional. When I talk about this type of growth, what I mean is that when you discover your purpose, when you discover what it is that God has gifted you in, you know, you have to take it up. You have to take it up. Just discovering that my purpose, you know, is to encourage others. My gift is to speak. You know, that won't make me become a great speaker overnight. That won't make me serve, you know, by encouraging others overnight. What I have to do is I have to practice. I have to be intentional about it. I have to put in much more effort. So this is something that I've come to appreciate, and I hope that you also appreciate it. When you discover what your purpose is, when you find out what you are gifted at, my sister and my brother, everyone that is watching, please be intentional about growing in that area. Be intentional about fulfilling your purpose. Be intentional about nurturing that gift, because growth is definitely not automatic. It is actually intentional. And then one of the secrets I'd love to share with you is that your secret and my secret to success is determined by what we do in our daily agenda. It is what I do every day. It is what you do every day. That is actually the secret to my success and the secret to your success. What we do daily strengthens us and makes us better. And that's the key. What we do every day, it what strengthens us and makes us better. I like what somebody shared. They said, spending an hour every day on a particular subject will make you an expert in 5 years. You become an expert in that field in 5 years. But you see, a lot of people say, oh, 5 years, how, like, I can't do that. I can't begin to do this thing right now. That would take so much time. And the thing is that a lot of people, a lot of us, we're currently doing something, and then we'll get to realize to say, oh, okay, this is my gifting. And your gifting may actually be the opposite of what you're currently doing right now. And then, for instance, you may be like maybe 40, you may be, or even 42 or 37, and you think to say, okay, I've discovered this gift, but there are bills that need to be paid. There are life has to go on. I need to take my children to school. There is so much that I need to do. I can't start to put my focus on my gift or put my focus on my purpose, because there are things that need to be sorted out. My encouragement to you is the encouragement that I got from this person that said, spending an hour every day on a particular subject will make you an expert in 5 years. Meaning, if you discover what your purpose for existence is, if you discover what your gift is, if you discover what your strength is, invest minimum at least an hour. And you'll find that the more that you invest in your gift, at least an hour every day, you become better. And as you become better, you begin to impact the lives of others, before you know it. So the question should be, how long will it take for me to actually become an expert in my purpose? Or how long will it take in order for my purpose to start benefiting me and benefiting others? The encouragement is at least dedicate an hour out of the 24 hours you have every day, just to grow in that area of gifting. So the right question is, how far can I go? How far can I go? It's not how long will it take, but the question you should be asking yourself is, with this gift that God has given me, how far can I go? And you decide to take the journey every day, one day at a time, a day at a time, a step at a time. Remember, Rome was not built in one day. And even a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So one step at a time, you ask yourself, how far can I go? And you begin to take those steps. And then somebody may ask a question to say, okay, how do I know that I'm actually growing? Because you say you are investing an hour out of 24 hours doing something that you're gifted in, because you've got other bills to pay and all that. So how do I actually know that? How do I know that I am growing? One way I will share with you that you will know that you're growing is that you will be appreciative of where you have been, and you'll be more excited about where you are and where you are going. This just brings me to remind me of where I started from. When I think of how I discovered my purpose, which is to encourage, and how I discovered my gifting, which is speaking, I really look back, and I am not ashamed, but I appreciate my days of humble beginnings. I look back, even you at your own time, whoever is watching, you can go back and see where Moments with Inonge started. Look at my first postings, listen to them, look around. You see that at that point, when you compare to today, I am not where I used to be. So literally, one way that you can know that you're growing is that you will not look back and be so angry about your past, but you will appreciate your past, and you'll be excited about where you are today. Like I am excited about where I am today, and I am even much more excited about where I am going. That is one way to know that you are actually growing. And then one thing with growth is that because it is intentional, we get to learn. We get to learn new things as you are growing, because growing is actually taking you out of your comfort zone into a place that allows you to expand. And expanding can be uncomfortable. Expanding can demand that you do things that you've never done. It demands that you go places that you've never gone to. It demands that you speak like you've never spoken. It demands that you meet people that have never ever been part of the crowd that you associate with. So you need to realize that with growth comes learning, and learning is a wonderful thing, but the value of learning is improvement. Learning, trust me guys, it is a wonderful thing, but the value of learning is improvement. Even as you're tuned into the leadership segment, I believe and I hope and trust that at least you can pick up even just one thing. You can learn at least one thing, and this thing, it is my hope and prayer and trust that it improves your life, because that is where the value of learning is. The value of learning is just not listening to me, but it is also improving your life. You see, it's not the learning that improves your life, it's the application of taking what you have learned and applying it into your life. It is not the learning that improves your life. It's the application of taking what you have learned and applying it into your life. That is a very powerful statement right there. And in today's leadership segment, I just want to share one or two, three things that we can actually apply in our lives, to grow, to maximize our potential. A lot of people have attended conferences. A lot of people have attended trainings. A lot of people have got PhDs, are degree holders, but some of these certifications that we have acquired, they don't really improve our lives. Why? My question is why? Why is it that a lot of people have attended seminars, have attended conferences, have attended workshops, but they are still at the same level? That is something that I really want us to, touch on in today's leadership segment, because believe you me, on Moments with Inonge, I am going to be facilitating a lot of mastermind groups, a lot of leadership trainings. And it is my hope and trust that out of these leadership trainings, our lives can be improved. Our lives can be transformed. So now the question is, why is it that some people go to seminars, some people go to conferences, some people go to workshops, but their life still remains the same? Why is that? Why is that? There are people that have gone to a conference. There are people that have gone to a conference, and during that conference, they have caught something that has drastically changed their life. They have caught something that has made a tremendous change in their life. And it is my prayer that even as you listen to these leadership segments, that you catch something that will actually transform your mind. So being leaders, this is a leadership segment. Being leaders, I really want us to, take something with us today that will change our lives. I believe it changed my life. When John taught me this, it changed my life. And I just want to share it with you, hoping and trusting that it will also change your life, because we have learned that it's not the learning that improves your life. It is the application of taking what you have learned and applying it into your own life. So how do we apply what we learn in workshops? How do we apply what we learn when we go to church? How do we apply what we learn when we go through a training? How do we apply what we learn when we listen to Moments with Inonge's leadership segment? What we were taught is simply a tool that is called ACT. This tool is called ACT. And A stands for apply, C stands for change, and T stands for teach. Apply. A, C, change, T, teach. So now, how does this ACT work? How does this ACT work? So literally, it's like when you come and when you're watching this leadership segment, because you know that there is something that is of value that I'm going to share with you from somebody that has been in the leadership game for quite a long time, because it's of value, you come with your notepad. You come with your notepad and you come with your pen. So as I'm speaking, you are taking notes because you are intentional. You value what is being shared, so you become intentional about it. Remember, growth is intentional, and one of the actions that you can do is by, whenever somebody is talking to you, whenever you're sitting under a mentor, pick up a pen, pick up a paper. When you go to church, whenever the sermon is being preached, go with a pen, go with a notepad. One thing I appreciate about where I congregate is most people, the way you know when somebody is new is that person will maybe just come to church without a pen and a paper. But most of the times, for everybody that belongs to that congregation, you always see them with a pen and a notepad. So whenever you go to these conferences, whenever you attend trainings or workshops, carry your notepad, carry your pen. Now, this is what is going to happen. As you take down your notes, there is 3 things that you're going to do, at the end of every note. What you're going to do is, 1, you are going to label the notes. If it is something that you need to apply in your life, if it's something that you hear and you say, what, I think I need to apply this to my life, you're going to put, at the end of that note, you're going to put an A. If it's a point that has, caught your attention, that you say, what, I really need to change the way I've been doing things. I've been doing things in this way, and now I need to change and begin to do things in that way. What you do is you put a C at the end of that note. And if it's something that you want to share with others, if you teach, if you speak, if you help others, if you lead people, you would want to teach. You say, oh, this is a point that I really need to teach somebody. So when you get that, when you're done with your training, when you're done with your workshop, you really organize your notes. You put them under sections. You put the A's, the notes that you got under the A's, those are things that you need to apply to your life. And then the C's, those are things that you need to change in your life. And then the T's, those are things that you need to actually teach somebody or teach a group of people. So what you do is then you put them according to the segments. You segment the things that you need to apply, change, and teach. So after you're done segmenting them, the things that you need to apply, the things that you need to change, and the things that you need to teach, what you actually do is you prioritize them. You say, okay, what is more important to me at this point? So you prioritize. What is it that I urgently, importantly need to apply to my life from these lessons? What is it that I urgently need to change in my life from these lessons? What is it that I urgently need to teach in my life from these lessons? So from after you're done prioritizing those things, what you pick, the first A, the thing that you need to apply in your life, the first C, the thing that you need to change in your life, the first T, the thing that you need to teach others, will be the thing that you do for 1 month. It is the thing that you do for 1 month. You see, change is gradual. It's gradual. Growth is gradual. You are intentional about it, but it's gradual. So the first things that you're going to prioritize on your apply list, on your change list, on your teach list, those are the things that you're going to practice for a month. Believe you me, as you do that, you see yourself grow. You see yourself grow. At this point, I want to share a parable with you, and it's called the five frog parable. Five frog parable. So this parable is simply put that there were five frogs on a log, and then out of these five frogs, four decided to jump. How many remained? How many remained? For those that are currently online, please drop a comment and see if you can contribute towards that parable. See if you can contribute towards that parable. It says there were five frogs on a log, and four decided to jump. So how many are remaining? How many are remaining? Drop a comment. Let me see if we can get an answer to that parable from anyone that is watching. Drop a comment. Let me see if we can get an answer to that parable. There were five frogs on a log, and four decided to jump. How many frogs are remaining? How many frogs are remaining? So I'll give an answer. I'll give an answer to that parable at the end of the leadership segment, just in case there are people that are still typing. So I will definitely give an answer concerning that parable at the end of the segment. So we need to actually bear in mind that every time we are growing, we ask ourselves some questions. And these questions are, what do I need to apply in my life? What do I need to change in my life? And what do I need to pass on to others? That is in relation, to the act that I shared with you. What you apply, what you change, what you teach others. Even from this leadership segment, if you're jotting down notes, you can say, okay, from what Inonge has spoken, what do I need to apply in my life? From what she has said, what do I need to do? What do I need to change in my life? And from what she has said, what is it that I can teach others? So every time we're growing, we need to ask ourselves, what do I need to apply in my life? What do I need to change? And what do I need to pass on to others? And then, because in our inspirational segment on Sunday and yesterday's motivational segment, we were talking about kings, being a king or being a king maker. Being a king or being a king maker. So in relation to today's today's leadership segment, I just want to also bring out something, because John's definition for success, his definition for success talks about knowing your purpose, which we looked at in last week's motivational leadership segment. And also it talks about growing, maximizing your potential. And I have just shared on how you can actually maximize your potential, which is by growing and being intentional about your growth, which is by applying what you learn, by changing what needs to be changed in your life, and also teaching others. The third part of his success definition is actually sowing seeds that benefit others. Sowing seeds that benefit others. In this life, a lot of people think when you have a purpose, your purpose is just to better yourself. Your purpose is just to better yourself. And I think I spoke about that. I touched that area in last week's leadership segment, where, success, merely being successful, it just has a lot to do with you yourself. I mean, the car that you buy, the house that you build, what you leave for others. But as leaders, we don't only live to the level of success, but we live to the level of significance. And when your purpose moves from the level of just being a purpose, it moves to a level of being a calling. It moves to a level of being a calling. This is a point where you begin to be significant in your life and in the lives of others. This is a point where you pour out to others. So that's sowing seeds that benefit others. I know one thing for sure, and that is most people, are into the reaping side of life. There is that you reap what you sow. But a lot of people are just on the reaping side. A lot of people want to do the reaping and not the sowing. So this is why I wanted to share this very interesting quote by Robert. And the quote says, "I consider the success of my day based on the seeds I sow and not the harvest I reap. I consider the success of my day based on the seeds I sow, not the harvest that I reap." Why? When I heard that, quote, I asked, how? Aren't you supposed to really consider your success from the results that you have, like from what you reap? And then it really dawned on me that, you know what? His quote has got a lot of meaning. His quote actually makes a lot of sense, in the sense that, when you consider success based on what you reap, what you have reaped that day, basically you are not going further, because when you reap, you've got to be worried about what you're going to reap also the following day. Say you had planted maize and you harvest your maize. Do you realize that because you harvest your maize, you really are not guaranteed of food in the next 2, 3, 4 months? Why? Because you have not sown again. You have not sown again. But when you sow a seed, you can rest assured knowing that you are actually going to reap in days to come. So Robert says that he considers the success of the day based on the seeds he sows and not the harvest that he reaps. Because if you harvest, there's going to be a time that you will again want to harvest more. But the question is, did you sow? So let's not be the type of people that are actually just self-centered, that are actually just have a mindset of just reaping. Let us also sow seeds that benefit others. Let us not just think about purpose as in purpose just being about you, purpose just being about, making you successful. Let us also think about purpose in another light, that purpose can also be, to make the light of somebody else shine brighter. Like I said in yesterday's motivational segment, that, dimming the light of somebody else does not make your light shine any brighter. A lot of people want to step on others so that they can have, a place. But the pie is too big. The pie is very, very big. It's big enough for everyone to have a bite. It's big enough for everyone to have a bite. And I really learned that really dawned on me when I went to Nigeria. I went to Nigeria and I saw how big, some churches are. And I wanted to say, how could this church be so big? And I visited a church that was very, very big. And then I went to another church, which is also very, very big. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this church is big and that church is big. And then this is when it dawned on me that the pie is enough for everybody to actually feed on. What I mean is that church could be big and have its huge congregation, while another church could also be big and have its own huge congregation. That revelation really dawned on me, that you do not have to dim somebody's light in order for yours to shine bright, because you can actually help to shine the light of somebody. And as you do so, just like I spoke about in the motivational segment yesterday, like Cristiano Ronaldo and Albert, you know, how Albert actually thought to himself to say, you know what, Ronaldo is better than me, so let me give him the ball. And because he did that, today he's living a luxurious life that I doubt he would have afforded to live if he was selfish, because he was not as good as Ronaldo, you know. So guys, please, let's consider in our leadership, let us consider sowing seeds that benefit others. There's another quote also that I like, by Zig Ziglar, and it says, if you help other people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. So in today's leadership segment, we have to realize that sowing seeds of benefit that will benefit others is also part and parcel of success. And having talked about that, please look out for the quotes of the week, which will actually steer us up to actually, you know, grow and be purpose, you know, to actually be hungry to discover what our purpose is and to actually fulfill our purpose. So like we said, what real success is, according to John Maxwell, is that success is when you know your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. I mean, that's John's definition of success, and I really find it to be very, very meaningful. This month on Moments with Inonge, we are going on a journey of discovering what our purpose is, purpose being the reason for our existence. Even as we do that, as we discover that, I urge you and I encourage you to stay tuned, because as we take this journey together, we will be sharing ways and means of how we can actually grow to maximize our potential. And as we do that, definitely as leaders, we will be impacting other people's lives by sowing seeds that benefit others. Guys, that is what I had for you on today's leadership segment. I hope and trust that you have been encouraged. I hope and trust that you have learned something, especially the Act 2, which John Maxwell shared with us in the John Maxwell team. I hope and trust that you can grab that Act 2 and work with it. For those that have just tuned in and didn't have a chance or the privilege to listen to it when I was talking about it, please replay this segment and listen to what the Act 2 is all about, and believe you me, you will truly benefit from it. So I'll now go to the comments. If there are any comments, any contribution, any questions, please feel free to drop them as I just read them. Feel free to actually drop them as I go through the comments. Please feel free to drop your comments, contributions, and questions. Just to give us enough time for those that are dropping their comments, questions, and contributions, I really want to still emphasize on the importance of you guys registering. Please register for the leadership training that is going to start on the 5th of January and will run up to the 4th of February. This leadership training is about putting your dream to test. Like I said, people have dreams, but sometimes they're pursuing the wrong dream. Maybe a dream can be birthed out of the disappointment that somebody had in the past, you know, and then they begin to pursue a different dream. Maybe it can be due to the circumstance that's around you, due to the influence of the people that's around you. You know, you begin to pursue the wrong thing, the thing that God has not actually called you. So this leadership training is actually going to help you and I to really put our dream to test, to really test our dream and see if it is whether it is the actual dream that is coming from our Creator. So guys, please register for the, please register for the Put Your Dream to Test leadership training or mastermind group session. We've got comments. and questions. We have a comment from Musama, and Musama says, good evening from Zimbabwe. Musama, thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Zimbabwe. I am always humbled just to see your comment, and I thank you because you are ever participating in our segments. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Zimbabwe. And we have a comment from Moyo, and Moyo says, this is Jemima Moyo. Hey, Jemima, thank you so much for actually tuning into our leadership segment. I hope and trust that you have been enlightened. And Jemima says, good evening, watching from Zambia. Thank you so much, Jemima. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of the leadership segment. And we have another comment from Maureen. And Maureen says, watching from Zambia. Maureen, thank you so much for actually tuning in. Maureen is actually a fellow John Maxwell team member. She's actually my fellow John Maxwell team member. Thank you so much, guys, for the love and support that you're showing me. I am really humbled and grateful, and I know it's just our DNA to support others, to encourage others, to cheer others, is the DNA of every John Maxwell team member. So thank you very much, Maureen, for actually being part and parcel of the leadership segment. And we have another comment from Musama, and Musama says, success is achievement of desired visions and planned goals. That is very true. That is very true. Like I said, everyone has got their definition of what success is. But I love the mere fact that you put vision, and goals into your definition, Musama, because like we saw from John Maxwell's definition, he said in the part A of his definition is knowing your purpose. And part of knowing your purpose is having a vision for your future. When you know what your purpose is, it gives you a vision. So indeed, success is achievement of your desired visions and planned goals. We have a comment from Jacob, and Jacob is actually referring to the parable that I gave, the parable on the 5 frogs. For those that are online, I shared a parable. For those that can text really quickly, please text in really quickly to answer what the answer to the question or the parable is. 5 frogs were on a log. 5 frogs were on a log, and 4 decided to jump. How many frogs remained on the log? So Jacob answered to say none remained. Jacob, thank you so much for trying. It's better to try than not to try. So I will give the answer just in 2 minutes, just in case somebody decides to say, okay, you know what, let me try. The parable again is 5 frogs were on a log and 4 decided to try. So how many frogs remained? And Jacob drops a comment that says he's watching from Zambia, Lusaka. Thank you so much, Jacob, for being part and parcel of the leadership segment. And we have another comment from Banda, and Banda says, hi, Mukwabo. Mukwabo, how are you doing? I'm good. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for that comment. We have another comment from Brian, and Brian says, thanks, Inonge. I'm sure he says, thanks for the leadership segment. And just to answer that parable, that parable is actually the answer to that parable. 5 frogs were on a log, and 4 decided to jump. How many remained? Actually, the question to that parable is 5. 5 still remained. Why is it 5? 5 still remained. Just because you decided to jump doesn't mean you have jumped. 5 frogs, they just decided to say, you know what, we'll jump. But they never jumped. They just decided we'll jump, but they never jumped. So that still means that there were still 5 on that log. However, Jacob, thank you so much for giving it a try. Thank you so much for being participative, and I really greatly appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate, people are busy. People are busy, and just you taking time to be part and parcel of Moments with Inonge is really, really a great privilege and honor for me. I appreciate it because you guys are what makes Moments with Inonge. Please stay tuned. Stay tuned for the quotes that I'll be dropping during the week. And please WhatsApp us. There's a WhatsApp button on our Facebook page. WhatsApp us to find out much more about the leadership training that I'll be facilitating on Putting Your Dream to the Test by John C. Maxwell. That the cost of the leadership training is $150, and it will run for 1 month. We'll meet twice in a month virtually on Zoom. We'll meet on Zoom twice in a week, or every Tuesday and every Thursday. And what happens is that you get a soft copy of the book, Put Your Dream to Test. You also you get a participant guide. And at the end of the training, you will be certified with a John Maxwell certification, certifying that you have completed the mastermind training, the leadership training of Putting Your Dream to Test. I am really, really looking forward to your growth as well as my growth, in this journey in life, and also looking forward to the impact that we're going to make in the lives of others that surround us. So guys, I hope that you have been inspired, you have been motivated, and also enlightened during the leadership segment. At this point, I don't see any other comments, so we'll call it a day, a night, and a morning, depending on wherever you're watching from. And I send you love, hugs, and loves, hugs, and kisses in this this festive season. I say compliments of the season. Love you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be productive. Take care.